Hello everybody, welcome back. My name is Simon Monica here and we are back with another character build for Fallout 76. Today I have another build for you guys. This is just an empty canvas, but first I want to tell you guys, if you are playing Fallout 76, Nukes and Dragons have I would say, the best character planner. A shout out to the guys who made this website. I use this a lot on my character build creation. So basically, I have tons of characters down the line. So this is gonna be a small series. And if you're asking where is Chance, currently, like I said before in the previous video about Chance, currently I cannot play Fallout 76. I keep crashing on a particular screen. So at the moment, uh, sad to say that Chance will be delayed for a certain amount of time for now. So until maybe let's just hope for until the next patch that I can play. But for now, this is the best I can do for Fallout 76 series. So I want to share you guys somewhat how to say my somewhat experience. I would say my prior experience towards the game and what build what perks should you get to make a how to say a decent build. So today we have the Iron Fist build. So basically, as you remember, I won't say remember, but as you know, throughout Fallout, um, at the current moment, melee is the meta. So basically, melee dominates most of PvE and PvP. So in homage to it, and somewhat how to say, one of my favorite builds, I and my main character, I like to play the unarmed melee weapon. It is really strong at the moment. Seriously, just give it a Death Claw Gauntlet with the more claw on it. You can wreck anything with a 15 string. If I'm not mistaken, the damage for it was 240. If I'm not mistaken, that was the total damage for Death Claw Gauntlet in comparison to most guns in the game, excluding the legendary one. But when you think about it, melee weapons damage is based on your strength. So basically, if you have higher strength, so you will have higher damage on towards it. So without further ado, let's explain what are the perk cards or the perks that I've chosen for this build. So we start with on the strength. As the title suggests, is an Iron Fist. So basically, you take Iron Fist. I mean, technically, your punching attacks does 20% more damage. Next, a must-have for a melee character build is Martial Artist. Your melee weapons weigh 60% less. Well, this is how to say, I won't say it's needed, but it's an advantage there. But you can swing 30% faster. There is a somewhat a big difference there. You can try it yourself with and without the Martial Artist perk on. You see how much of a big difference they are. That 30% is quite big in terms of frame, how to say, frame rate, frame image rate. You'll know, you'll understand if you once you try it out. Okay, next, and the third must have card perk in the list is Incisor. Your melee weapon ignores 75% of your target's armor, so that is 75% out of the question, ignoring target's armor. So basically, all the opponents left is 25% of its armor. So technically, in the late game, I won't say the enemies are tankier, but they do have a lot of health. But With this, you can shred it. I think I killed a death claw before with 2 or 3 hits. Then that's not without any power attacks. It's just normal swings. So next on the list is barbarian. So this is somewhat, you can change it around, but I can say it's somewhat good. Every point of strength adds 4 damage resistance. So technically, this is the max you can have, 15. So that's 15 times 4, that's 60. So max 80. So technically, this is coming from drugs. So, or if I'm not mistaken, from solar powered. 7. Oh, wait, no. 18 times 4. What is 18 times 4? Let me do a quick maths. Just a quick maths. So 18. 18 times 4 is 72. So it's 72. So another 8 more. I'm not too sure where it is coming from, but I think we'll talk about this later. But I think if we go for party boy, so most how to say, most alcohols gives you +1 strength, except for I think it was whiskey or vodka, which gives you 2. So technically you have three more strength. But yeah, we'll talk about it later. And lastly is traveling pharmacy. Technically Stimpaks weighs a lot, and if you are gonna do a lot of drugs in this character build, which I suggest, buff out, buff tats, psycho tats, psycho buff, or medics, you kind of need a lot of them, since you are gonna be only in the melee range. Technically you're just punching them, so you need to some enemies do have range attack, so you kind of need to cover the gap between you and the enemy, so in between they can shoot you. So you need some, technically medics is the must drug for melee build. So it reduces the weight for each drug, so including the Stimpak. So technically it's also, if you want to use it, go ahead. I'm not stopping you. So next on towards perception, so we have Grenadier. Your explosive detonates with twice the radius. Okay, at the current moment, I won't say it's a bug, but I think it's a bug or a glitch or something. There are certain enemies, I won't say which one because it's quite random. They are somewhat immune to either your range attack or your melee attack, so that's why you need a substitute damage towards those type of enemies. So technically, since we're not prioritizing in guns, so grenade is somewhat the second. I would say the most powerful damage towards it. I was planning to make a crit demo, but I'll do that in the next project. But for now, grenades is your best friend for this build also. So with this, your explosive detonates twice the radius, so basically big booms. And to help with aiming, but you can change this. Fire in the hole. Fire in the hole. Seeing a throwing arc when tossing thrown weapons, and they fly 15% farther. The reason why I didn't max it out, but because this is somewhat the special somewhat neat, and you don't need much of this. You just need to throw them, and plus, but if you don't like grenades, what I can suggest is glow sight. So deals 60% damage, more damage towards glowing enemies. So technically, the current hotspot for nukes are at the White Spring. So, and the number one enemy there is glowing one. So basically, this is somewhat a helpful perk towards the glowing ones. and also the 3 pick lock. So basically, if you don't need it, you can just swap these things in and out. Well, up to you. So next to endurance, we have adamantium skeleton. In the endurance part, people tend to somewhat diss the perks inside here, but up to you if you want to have high endurance, because you are a melee character and you need to cover the gap in between range enemies, so you need the health. So this is what I suggest, 11 endurance, but up to you. You can reduce it to increase any other special, but this is just my opinion on it. So adamantium skeleton, since you are melee, broken limbs is you need more. You need the time, so you don't need to heal yourself in between of battles. So ignoring the crippled limbs is somewhat helpful in battle. So solar powered, this is a no-brainer. It gives you plus 3 strength in the morning, so from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So basically, you are a beast in the morning. And next towards is professional drinker. So like I said, this is entirely up to you. You can include this into your build, but since alcohols in the game increases your strength, so I'm somewhat min-maxing the build. So I do suggest before battle you would drink any alcohol of your liking or you found. Then this somewhat how to say, remove the chance of you getting addicted to alcohol. And lastly, chem resistance, so immunity to chem addiction, since this is, like I said, towards the beforehand, you're gonna use drugs, so anything that removes remove of addictions is somewhat okay. But like I said, you can remove that. You can include ironclad towards it, so it gives you flat 50 damage and energy resistance while not using power armor. It's somewhat a good perk. So I mean, come on, it's like 1 for 10 damage. Okay, I would say it is a good perk, but at least since you're not using power armor, this is somewhat a nice defense. Next, towards the charisma, since we are, and technically this is gonna be inside most, not I think all of the builds, but I think it would exception to some. So you are gonna see a lot of this perk, and this, honestly though, you cannot say no to this perk. When adventuring alone, you take 20% less damage, so basically flat out 20% remove damage from enemy, and you gain 30% AP regen. And also, next is party boy or girl, according to your gender. The effects of alcohol are tripled, so technically, for example, if I'm not mistaken, beer, it gives you 1 strength, 1 charisma, and -1 intelligence. So basically with this perk you're gonna have 3 strength, 3 charisma, and -3 intelligence. But technically you don't need intelligence during battle. You're just gonna swing your hands around, right? And also tenderizer. Tenderizer is somewhat a good perk. Makes your target receive 5% more damage for 5 seconds after your attack. So basically your target is gonna get 5 more percent of damage for each swing. So technically more damage in. I won't suggest you to take 7 the max perk, max rank of this perk, because it's just increased by 1% for each rank. So technically it's kinda well, up to you though. So next is under the intelligence, so we're just gonna take makeshift warrior, since we are gonna use a melee weapon. So your melee weapons breaks 50% slower, and you can craft tier 5 melee weapons. So basically, weapon do degrade in this game quite fast. I think for exception with melee weapons, but with this, so you can have more usage of your weaponry in with that, and also with the hacker perks in waiting. So you can, I mean, technically after the fighting, then you can just swap this out. And then next onto agility, we have action boy / girl. So AP regen 25 45% faster. Sorry. So basically, it's just a self-explanatory. True hiker, food and drinks weights are reduced by 90%. So another self-explanatory, since we are using alcohols. So alcohols are included in this one. Marathoner, sprint consumes 20% fewer action points. So basically, like this part, starting marathoner, adrenaline, and gun fu, is up to you whether or not you want to use it. But this is just somewhat, um, you know, if you don't want this, you can increase adrenaline or get max gun fu. So basically, adrenaline, you gain 7% more damage for 30 seconds per kill. So basically, after you kill one, you're gonna get 7% more damage. So basically, you can reduce marathoner, you cannot get it. So basically, increase one more level towards this, and you'll get 8%. So a maximum of 48%. Or you can get gunfu in vets. When you kill the target, you get 10%, then 20% damage towards your next two targets. So basically, if you kill one, you on the second one you get 10% 10%, and the next one is 20%. So well, it goes for 30%. So up to you. Marathon, adrenaline, and gunfu is interchangeable. And lastly, under the luck, we have the most favorite perk of all from all people is Starch Genes. So technically, we are gonna use a lot. I won't say a lot of mutations, but we have, I think, two important mutations that we're gonna use. But I'm gonna switch out to the next the mutation list after this. But and also Bloody Mess. So this is a flat out 15% extra damage, and also, I mean, it's an homage towards the Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 Bloody Mess, where enemies explode into a gory mess. And also you can change towards Class Freak if you don't like the Bloody Mess, or Farmer just increases your luck to when you search medical containers. So basically, since you are gonna use a lot of drugs, so Farmer is like picklock and hacker. So once you're done, you can just swap it around and use this to search containers. So at least you have more drugs in your inventory. So for mutations, I'm gonna use the Fallout wiki. All you need, the two main mutations are talents, and twisted muscles. So basically, for talents, your punching attacks do 25% more damage and with bleed damage, but at a cost of -4 agility. That's why there's the I put the Class Freak inside if you don't like the -4 agility. And twisted muscle, so your melee damage gains 25% more damage, and also better chance to cripple limbs, with a penalty of gun accuracy of -50%. So if you have this two, well, technically you don't need guns since we're not gonna use guns. So this is okay. So these two mutations are the must-have for this build. And also, another, I would say another okay one is Chameleon if you want to go sneaking. Electrically charged, so basically you can shot melee attackers. This one is really good though. I had this one with a secondary character I had, and she was a melee character. She was a shotgunner, so I got this one early on in the low levels, and the enemies were mole rats or ghouls, so they died instantly after getting electrically charged. Up to you then. And then also grounded increases your energy resistance by 100%. 100%, sorry, 100, and your energy damage is -50% at the penalty. Well, technically this is one also a nice one since we are not going to use energy weapons, so it's a free 100 energy resistance. Sorry. And also next is marsupial, carry weight +20 with increased jump height at a penalty of -4 intelligence. So this is also a lot of people's favorite. And Scaly Skin also is not bad when you think about it. It's a free damage and energy increase of resistance by 50, and at the cost of -50 AP. So with Class Freak, you reduce that to what is it? To -15, if I'm not mistaken. So, and I think that's it. So if you like the build, or if you like the video, hit that like button below, and if you want to see more of this type of build, do subscribe to my channel. I am just somewhat self-advertising, but if you want to see more, I'll post this up more in the future. I think in 2 days prior, so we'll see in the future. But until then, I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I hope this build will be somewhat a canvas towards for you guys if you don't know what to build, and if you're interested in this build. So I do I do suggest, if you did use this, so you can just tag me up in social media, I guess. Twitter, maybe I'm gonna start a Twitter soon, but yeah, for now, if you did the build, so just comment down below and tell me how it is. Sorry if there's no gameplay footage like everyone else, because I cannot play the game. But if you do have the gameplay footage, I'll put that in the next video. So basically, there'll be a shout out and honorable mentions towards it. So without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya!